I just went down in the basement to look for my large staple and hole punch, and I found a bunch of D-rings down there loaded. And I remember now what I used these for. I had written years ago when I was, well, not years ago, maybe 12 years ago or so. I guess that was years ago. I had written a couple of books on security for a number of security companies in the area. This is what I used to use, and I used to get them in a binder, double page, blah 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 blah. You know, that's what they paid for. There was 14 different sections on what to, what not to, and how to, and all that kind of stuff. And I happened to have found one of the books that were going to be ready for fill, but I said, "Wow, okay, it's going to save me a little bit of time and money because I don't have to think about going out and buying any more page protectors because I have a bunch of them here." So, but with that, I still couldn't find my punch, my three-hole, you know, the big commercial punches and staple guns, baboof. Oh, and then I found my old study book when I had to do some studying. But anyway, I can't seem to find my old 3-page blah blah. So, and I want to do that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch some holes in this and reinforce it with a little tape, and so I can put this in here. And I have a bunch of these about this size, so instead of trying to squeeze them in a page protector, because we all know once it's in there it's kind of a pain in the ass to get out. So if it has more than a few pages, you really don't want to put it in there. So, and I'm really not going to cut this up and put one in for each page because that would be kind of foolish. So, alright, anyway, let me look for what I'm looking for and I'll be right back. I am having a few problems. I think one of them is the program that I'm using. I'm not positive. For some reason it just started acting up over the last week or so. And the other problem being, turn that down, the other problem being that again, I'm having some problems receiving comments and sending them. That was going well for a while. It just started acting up again. So I don't know if it's all related or not. I don't know. I'm probably going to say the comment section may be my fault, but maybe a Google thing. However, the loading of videos is probably a program error on my side, because you guys all seem to be loading fine. And some of them, like I say, there was a couple long ones, but I mean, last night I tried to load a 3-minute video and it didn't go. It just tells me, not at this time, try later, check your internet connection. Well, my internet connection is fine. I've got tons of speed going on it. I'm on it. I'm using it as I always do. So I think it's a problem with the program relating to the connection somehow. But anyway, other than that, I've got a new printer which I'm trying to load that program. I went out to start the tractor the other day and it was a little slow in starting. Pop, you know, that type of thing. So okay, it's time to change the fuel filter and things and the air filters. It has two air filters. So I have to get to that. So day before yesterday, I think it was, I had to move it and it just wouldn't start. Not at all. It's done. So Jesus. So anyway, I pulled out the fuel filter and oh God, what a mess. I'm telling you, it was disgusting. So I went up to Tractor Supply and they don't have any. Now there is a John Deere dealer, but it's about a half-hour ride from here. And to be honest with you, I really don't want to drive a half an hour. It just could be me getting old. I just don't want to drive anywhere. So, hey Tuck, how you doing, buddy? I know you're wondering who I'm talking to. You ever notice when you got the camera going, you're talking to the camera, the dogs look at you like you're nuts, like who the hell are you talking to? You know, is there somebody there that I'm not seeing, or am I going nuts, meaning them? Anyway, I pulled them out. I soaked the bowl because it's a cartridge on the fuel filter. I soaked that with the bowl that it comes in, because the bowl was a mess, in some cleaning solvent overnight, and that cleaned it up like great. Then I had to get up inside to make sure, because the filter, when I took the bowl down, the filter was stuck up there. Yeah, and I really had to play with it to get it out. So at that point, I was going to say something else, but I didn't. I really had to play with it to get it off. However, I sprayed up inside there with a good, you know, cleaner, and a lot of crap was coming out of there. So at that point, I put it all back, took out the air filter, and I did something you're not supposed to do. I was told anyway years ago never to do it. Is to blow out the air filter. So I blew out the air filter, just to, you know, get me by. And it has two of them, so it's been, well, all right, no big deal. And if I'm blowing it out and not in, you know, so you do what you can. I personally don't see a lot of harm in it, if you know, but they say if you disturb the dust and dirt that's in there, it could break up and end up inside the ejectors or whatever it is. So anyway, I did that, and it doesn't want to start. So then I, at this point, took the filters. Today, it's raining out again. It's been raining all the last couple days. This morning, while the coffee's making, I went out, I pulled the air filters out, and she wants to start. She's trying to start. So at that point, it does start for a second, and then it kind of just peters out, which indicates to me that the fuel filter is still scotzad, you know. I'm hoping we don't have any other issues from there, and I'm hoping that I don't have to pull the fuel filter / shut off, what you call it, off, bracket off. It doesn't look like a big deal, but it's hard to get to, and then actually clean that out, because I don't know what it looks like, you know, up inside, because that's where the filter was stuck up in there, and the way everything is, you can't get your head in there. But I could do it with a mirror. See, sometimes talking to people helps. I can go out there with a mirror and look up there and see how bad it looks. If it doesn't look bad, well, it's not that. It's just a matter of getting some good fuel up in there. Okay, well, let me have my coffee and my breakfast, and I'll be back. Alright, well, anyway, so far, that's what I got in there. Tractor, generator, lawnmower, and actually the John Deere, the push mower, the log splitter, the snow blower. The only thing I don't have in here yet is the Yamaha generator. I got the Generac, I believe. I just stuck it in here. Yeah, but I don't have the Yamaha generator in here, so I got to find that paperwork. And then with some of them, the smaller stuff, there's receipts with them, so I don't have to worry about it. So basically, anything that's going to be out here, you know, is basically going to be in here. And if this one gets too big, well then, or too small, I'll just go to the larger one, because I did find a 5-inch D-ring, which is over there. So if I need it, that's what I'll use. But meanwhile, I'll mark this one, so I'll know what it is. I'll put it over there in the bookcase, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, going through all this stuff, you know, naturally you come up, you find things. Found the air filter for the Generac. I also found the oil filter for the Generac. And then that envelope. Now, I don't use Stable as a rule, or anything like this for stabilizing my fuel through the winters or through the summer or whatever. Usually I just use mystery oil. Every now and then I'll put some Valve Tech in there, It's a lead additive. Every now and then I may run a Valvetech cleaner or the Lucas, which is a fuel injected cleaner for gas and diesel. But most of the time, in the winter time, I'll add a little octane booster maybe, and mystery oil. And that's about it. And I never had any problems with any of my machines. And I always let them run out. I shut off the gas and let it run until it's empty. But not so much for this one, I don't care too much about. But this one was in there and I never even realized it. Apparently they make some type of a gas additive that prevents corrosion, and it's good for ethanol blend gas. So I may do a little research on that. But as far as the rest of this stuff, like I say, that's been in there for who knows how long. So, alright, now I just got to find a little compartment to keep some of the filters and things in. Well, I'll probably put that over there with the rest of the stuff. I'll just have to mark it so I'll know what it is. And that's about it. So, that kind of takes care of that. Now, believe it or not, I feel like a cup of hot chocolate.